I'm Hunter.
And this is the W7W Podcast. It's a show about our local yarn shop here in Fort Worth, Texas, called W7W.
All right, so what we got going on this week?
What do we usually talk about first? Classes?
Yeah, let's
events?
start off.
What we did last week?
What did we do last week?
Today's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service if you have served in the armed forces or have loved ones who do or did.
Mm-hmm.
I know my grandfather did.
My dad did.
So, Thank you. All right, so last week was a whirlwind for me.
Yeah, you've been busy,
here.
huh?
Yeah, our kids, it was the last week of school for our kids, so they had parties and ceremonies and stuff like that.
We had a sleepover at one point, didn't we?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
A kid sleepover.
Yep, good times.
Yeah. So, what's going on with the yarn shop, though?
Well, let's see. Do we want to talk about the upcoming classes or our upcoming events first?
Events.
Let's do events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so June 8th, we have Worldwide Knit in Public Day coming up.
So what is that, Hunter?
Well, that's where everybody basically gets together and decides to, instead of knitting in the privacy of their own homes, they get out and about and get in public and, maybe spread awareness.
I think that this will be the third one that we've been open for.
I believe so.
And some people might wonder, why don't you do an event at your shop? Well, I mean, people knit here all the time. The point of it is to get out into spaces that you don't normally see knitters in and spread awareness.
You need to be amongst the muggles, basically. Does that make sense?
To me, it does, yeah. It's funny. Yeah, so go to I knit at restaurants all the time, but if you don't usually, hey, why not? Museums, parks, shopping malls, just take your knitting wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
Knit in public. And I think there used to be an event sponsored by different groups, like the Chicks with Sticks, or just meet up with your friends or your regular knitting group, or if you don't have one, just call a friend and say, hey, let's go knit.
Yeah, and while I feel like a movie theater technically counts, that's like just by that much.
There are people who knit at the movies.
They do, but it's in the dark.
Well,
so
especially before the movie comes on. I've been known to take my knitting too.
This is true.
Okay. So what we are doing, though, is we are going to give you 10% off your purchase that day if you come in and tell us where you plan to go knit.
Or alternatively, what you can do is take a picture of yourself. If you can't make it in that day, which is understandable, if you knit in public, take a picture of yourself doing so, and then tag us and post it on social media, and then show it to us the next time you're in.
Yeah, the next time you're in, show us your Instagram or Facebook post where you are knitting in public, and the shop is tagged #W7W.
Mm-hmm. Then we will also give you 10% off.
We'll give you 10% off that purchase.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Spreading the love.
Indeed.
All right. The other thing that we have participated in a couple times now is the Longest Day, which is an Alzheimer's awareness event. The longest day of the year this year is the summer solstice, when the longest amount of sunlight shines, and that is on June 21st.
Which I believe is a Friday.
It is a Friday this year. It was a Saturday last year. I think it's a Friday this year. So spend the day doing what you love, which for us is knitting or crocheting or spinning. However, we also, Hunter and I are going to be out of town that day. We're going to be at the National Needle Arts Convention in Ohio.
Cleveland, I believe.
But you can come to the shop that day. We will have patterns for twiddle muffs and puzzle balls. Twiddle muffs are the little hand warmer things that we made a few last year, and we donated them to a memory care facility here in the Metroplex, and we will be doing that again this year. So if you want to come in and pick up a pattern, or if you want to knit one at home and drop it off, or if you want to just come in and knit with us, not us, but knit with the folks at the shop that day.
Now, on Ravelry, just look up Twiddle Muff or Puzzle Ball. You'll find plenty of patterns there, and at least the couple I clicked on were free patterns.
Yeah, and you put them in the newsletter.
And I put
too.
them in the newsletter as well, so
Yeah.
that's another place you can look for them. Just click on the link in the newsletter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there is a donation page for the Alzheimer's Association in our newsletter.
And I believe the donation, get them in by June 27th.
Okay.
Is what we determined.
Okay.
And then, we can go ahead and forward them onto a memory care facility.
Yes. Okay. And then, of course, we have our twice a month, monthly spin-ins, socials, which are a lot of fun if you're a spinner.
The second and fourth Sunday.
Yeah. So those are the events. What fun classes do we have coming up?
We've got lots of classes lined up for this month. A lot of interesting classes. I feel like we're diversifying it a little bit in recent months. We've got Knitting 201 coming up, which is knitting in the round.
That's been a class that's been requested. We have the beginning knitting, learn to knit and purl.
Yeah, and that's the fundamentals of just get on the needles,
Every
knit, stitch,
Saturday.
purl, stitch, and bind off.
And people wanted to know what comes next. So
here we go. It's knitting in the round. It's increases or decreases.
It's always decreases, but knitting in the round with circular and double points. It's a 2-part class on Sunday, June 2nd.
Yes.
And 23rd.
That's correct.
From 1 to 3.
And then on the 9th, we're offering a frame loom weaving class. We've got Kristen on board now, and she is bringing some weaving classes to the shop that have been in demand for a while.
I've been wanting to do that. Yeah. See, I've got some hand spun that I when I first started spinning, that's kind of thick and thin. It's chunky. It's not very consistent because I was just learning. And I've been, meaning to do some weaving with it because I think it would look really nice in some weaving.
Right on. And then Mel's offering a couple of spinning classes this month. She's offering a cotton spinning class. And she's offered that before, but it's been a while. It's been maybe the better part of a year.
Yes, supplies are included with that. Taki spindle, small wooden bowl, and lots of cotton.
And then she's also offering a spinning art yarn class where she embellishes yarn with beads and that kind of thing. And I'll need to go over that with you later. She brought me some examples of what she wants to use for that.
I already ordered it all.
You already got it all. Well, then I guess we're ahead of the curve here.
For
nice.
Once.
Yeah, well, we try. Anyway.
And one more class that we're excited about.
One more class would be also the sock snake Afterthought class.
Yes.
Yep.
So I will be, for everyone in the class, I will be machine knitting tubes, and I think that they're going to be solid color. I might find some that are stripes. We'll see. But I'm going to be knitting tubes, and then you will go in class and put your double pointed needles in for the heel. I think you'll probably do the toe first. So all this orange comes off and you were left with live stitches where you do the toe. That's the easiest thing. You do the toe and then you measure where you want your heel to be. Usually it is 1 inch less than your total foot length, because an Afterthought heel is 1 inch on the bottom, 1 inch on the back of the heel.
That's good to know.
That's what I did anyway. And then you cut in your heel, and then you do your cuff.
Now, does it have
you
to be
have a finish
DPNs,
up.
or can you do like magic loop?
You could do magic loop.
Okay.
You could. DPNs are so easy. They're quick and easy. So that is a fun class that we'll be offering.
Very cool. Yeah, we got that sock knitting machine a while back. I know we've been talking about it. We're finally getting to a place where we are going to be able to incorporate it into what we do a little bit more. So that's exciting.
So the materials are included. All you need to bring are your double pointed needles or magic loop needles. Sizes, I'm a loose knitter, so I do size 0. You can do size 1.
I do size 1.
Okay. So those are our classes and events.
Cool.
Good time for June. Oh, there's one more event. It's the Olive Knits.
Oh boy.
4-day sweater knit along.
For crazy people.
It's not. You don't have to do it in 4 days. It's a fun sweater. I did mine in 4 days last year. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to do it in 4 days again this year. I'll give it my best.
You said your hands hurt for weeks afterwards.
I mean, they hurt, but not for weeks.
It was several days.
A couple days. So both this year, there is another shop in the Metroplex, far north. Carla from Quixotic Fibers in Sherman, Texas. Is it Sherman?
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Quixotic Fibers. Carla's gonna do this too, so I'll be posting things online. I might have a late afternoon, a late evening or two during that 4-day window at the shop. But I'll be knitting. If you have any questions, we have the info pack.
Hit me up.
Yeah. I'm going to start my swatch with this Malabrigo Rios in Ravelry Red. I think it's a nice, even shade. It's a little tonal, but I think you don't want a variegated or too crazy of a tonal because there are lace details in it, which I think will get lost if you have too much color in your yarn.
And the pattern also calls for a superwash worsted weight yarn, something about how it drapes.
Yeah, a superwash worsted. Superwash will grow, so the pattern takes that into consideration. Yes.
Yeah, so also in the newsletter, where I talked about, I mentioned it towards the back half, I think. But I mentioned several yarns that we have at the shop, several dyers that do produce superwash worsted weight yarn, and that's more tonal in the quantity that's required. So there's some options listed there, or just ask us. We can help.
Yeah, and they, Marie, she's follow her on the socials and Ravelry, follow her Ravelry group, because last year there were prizes from her Ravelry group. So sign up there, get the pattern on Ravelry. It'll go to your Ravelry library, but not until, I believe, the 27th of June.
Yeah, late June something.
And the actual 4-day window kicks off on July 4th, I believe. But you don't have to do it that 4-day window. You can do any time from when the pattern comes out to however long you want. It's your sweater. She recommended alternating skeins. I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to swatch. And then she also mentioned, since it's written for superwash, if you want the sweater to be longer and you're trying it on and you're like, oh, I need another skein because I need to make it longer, remember that it will grow a little bit. So, superwash grows. All right.
Good to know.
That's going to be fun. That's what I'll be doing July 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, possibly 8th and 9th. All right, what else?
All right, so that's basically all of our classes, all of our events coming up for the month. We have some new things in the shop. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, do we want to start with yarn or not yarn?
Start with yarn.
Okay, cool. So we did a 3 Irish Girls reorder we just recently got in. We got several new colors. I just grabbed a few of them. This is the Adorn Luxe base, which is their sock yarn. A little bit of nylon in it. I'll put the deets up on the screen. Here's just a few colors. A lot of these are new, but some of them we have had before, such as Found Gold. I think that's what that's called. Heart of Gold. I did a toes and heels of a sock in that.
Yes, you did. Okay, I'm done.
That's yours? Wait, you just get everything, huh? Peace.
What else you got?
I put together the order and like all the colors, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to send it. And then she's like, oh, by the way, this too. It's like, all right. All right, what else? We got some other new sock yarn in. When I'm ordering, it's kind of like a recurring theme You hear sock a lot. We got from Universal Yarn this bamboo pop sock. Goodness. If you love it so much, why don't you marry it?
Don't be childish. Come on.
Okay. Bamboo pop sock. It's 55% bamboo, 37% cotton, and 8% synthetic, like a nylon. Basically, I've been trying to bring in more non-wool sock yarn options into the shop. For sometimes people have wool allergies, that kind of thing. We previously had some different cotton sock yarn in, but we needed more variety in terms of color and that kind of thing. So now we've got this. We've got in a few colors. These are just, I think, 4 colors. These are 3 of them.
I like that green and blue. That's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the 2 things off the top of my head.
Great. Okay, we've got coming on Friday is the next issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. Lots of fun things in here. I guess they have a theme. It's called Tessellate, Rotate, Repeat, which has to do with just patterns. There are lots of different patterns. Like I like this one a lot. I don't know if I can show you, but I like it a lot. Really nice, always good quality patterns from Pom Pom Quarterly. Right, and then also we have the By Hand Making Communities Magazine Lookbook number 9, Nova Scotia.
The release date for By Hand, this one is today, as a matter of fact, so you can pick it up starting tomorrow from us.
All right, it's $23. By Hand is a series of community-based lookbooks that focus on different fiber and fabric communities around the country. Each serial features photojournals and interviews with both up-and-coming and well-known designers and dyers, local yarn stores, knitwear designers, fabric artists, and other makers who share the same philosophy and aesthetic of handcrafting functional forms to share and connect with others in the community. Projects, patterns, classes, and opportunities to purchase the artist's work are included, as well as an opportunity to explore what is beautiful and unique about each locale. So this is Nova Scotia. And I saw, oh, that's nice. Yeah, there are patterns in here. I saw another one of these that was really cute. I might have to get one of the back orders because it had a nice mobile. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Cool.
Okay, so that's fun too. We have a few copies of this. And Lane Magazine.
Line.
Is that how you say it?
I think.
Okay. That should be in by the end of the week as well.
Everything coming at once.
All the publications for your summer reading.
For perusal.
Your summer reading. All right. What else? Is that everything that's new?
I think that's everything that's new.
You have any finished things?
Heck no, I do not. I have some things in progress, though. Do you have any finished things?
I do.
Oh, I know you do.
Well, first, I finished this. I whipped this up yesterday. This is a pillow. From our wholesaler, we ordered some of these bags. They were tote bags, but they were printed upside down. So the handles were like this. And we were like, well, do you want us to send them back? And they're like, no, you keep them. We're like, what are we going to do with these? So I had these pillow forms because I'm a pack rat when it comes to craft supplies. I think they were my grandmother's, maybe. So I had them in my craft room, and I just got around to cutting the straps off, putting the pillow form in there, and so I just hand sewed the bottom because I don't know. I have a not fancy sewing machine. It's not fancy at all, and I didn't know if my needle would go through both. I think it's 4 layers because it's doubled over, but I just hand sewed the bottom. So there you go. When something gets sent to you not the right way, make it something else. So there's a pillow.
Thank you for your contribution. Are you going to do that with all the bags? I think we had more than one that was upside down.
Yeah, I gave one out. And then I think I gave one to somebody else. And then I think in February, we were doing hearts, knitted hearts for a nonprofit group in Aledo called Gathering Hope. It's a nonprofit group for women who have had miscarriages, and just a support group, and their annual meeting is in July, I believe, and so they put a call out to local crafters to knit little hearts for everybody at the meeting. And so I volunteered to knit some hearts. So I have maybe like 12 or 13 little hearts. And we had a little workshop here in February where we did some of these. But I made most of these little hearts. I find that when we do like a charity event like that, somebody gets stuck with doing most of the work. So
you signed up for it.
I signed up for it, so I made them, and I'll be sending those out soon. I actually think someone else made this one, but look how cute it slants. I think it's adorable. And then this I made with some hand spun. Actually used my hand spun for something. So I made that at the restaurant where we had brunch today. They are very quick, and we'll probably do this pattern again next February because it's quick and easy. Double-pointed needles.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then what? What? I made a pair of socks, machine knit, then put on the toe, cut in the heel, put a little cuff. I think these took me less than a day. And that's with me like running around, picking up kids from school, sitting in carpool. I think it takes maybe an hour, maybe a little less than an hour to do the toe, a little less than an hour to do the heel. And then just do some ribbing for the cuff. So those are some cute little socks. Super fast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. You have anything else?
I do have one more thing. I have the Wingspan Shawl by Kyle Vay. If you want to hold one side, I'll hold the other. So the pattern is written for a singular ball of yarn, which gradient yarn, 800 yards. I did not have a single ball of gradient yarn, 800 yards, and plus I wanted them to look kind of realistic. So I decided to use 3 different colors of Madeline Tosh Merino Light with glitter. You probably can't see the glitter on the screen, but it is sparkly, believe you me. Yeah. So here's the Wingspan by Kyle Vay. You also might notice that in the original pattern, there's no way to get these wings to be defined like this. It's just, if you were to add another color, it would just be a line. So what I did was I went ahead and did some stranded color work, and I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't block out right, like that it would be too tight in this area, but it turned out fine. Just keep your floats loose. I'm going to fold it like that so you can see the floats. So this is what the back looks like. It's just kind of a stripe of floats right there. They blocked out fine. They don't really pucker. And they allow you to define those wings really well. The bottom is done one wing at a time, so you don't have to worry about a straight line on the bottom if you wanted to do a different color on your tips. So if you don't have a ball, an 800 yard ball of fingering weight yarn, and you want to do some different colors, you want to do color work, just ask me. Or you can do it.
I was about to say, you're opening up a can of worms there.
Ask Kyle. But I will be knitting this again because I have a non-knitting friend who is a sweetheart.
Who she made the mistake of showing this to.
Her the pattern, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I love her, so I'm gonna make one for her.
But she also had to promise never to show this person what she's working on again.
I will never show any of my non-knitter friends.
That's a lesson learned.
But it was nice, and I would do it again. The first two go by really quick because, you're making those feathers and you want to get to the next row and see the pattern emerge. The third row takes a while, and then this fourth row of feathers takes forever. Yeah, forever.
Good time.
But, so it's nice. It's an odd shape, of course, because it's wings. The pattern actually gives you a lot of ideas of how to wear it. It'd look nice draped over like this. I think one of those leather clasps in the back would be really nice. One of those jewel
the
closures.
Jewels. Mm.
You have to be a little careful because since I did it in Tosh Merino Light, which is really lightweight single ply, you don't want to stretch it too much. Just be careful of what kind of shawl pin you use. But I think that would be pretty. When I put it on over my shoulders, it doesn't quite meet, but the top does it folds over nicely. So if I could find one of those, like, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but those old lady shawl closures that have like the chain in the middle, I need one of those. They're like a clip on both sides with a chain in the middle. I think they used to use them for their sweaters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could make one. Do we have all our jewelry supply stuff here?
Yes.
Maybe I'll make one. But
it's a clip
on this side, a clip on this side, and there's a chain in the middle. But that would be nice too, because this kind of folds out like a collar, like a stand-up collar. And then you could also fold it under a little bit.
Maybe you could use those new scissor chains that we got.
Those are nice. You didn't bring those out?
Yeah, I forgot about those.
Next time.
Mm-hmm.
You could wrap it. You can make it a wrap. That would look nice. Okay. Cool. So, those are my finished. What are you working on?
All right. I am working on... Okay, you've seen my sock that I've been working on. I haven't worked on that a whole lot lately.
I think I need to see it again.
All right, fine.
How many socks are you working on?
2 right now, just because... mainly for when people have questions at the shop. I've got the toe-up socks. I'm not going to spend much time on this.
Oh, that's a nice color. That's your lollipop.
Yeah, that's a lollipop. I've got a 9-inch circular toe-up. I haven't done a whole lot with it lately, but that's when people have toe-up questions or 9-inch circular questions. And then I have just a barely started cuff down. This is mostly for magic loop questions, that kind of thing.
What kind of yarn is that?
This is Biscotti self-strapping. And then... How
long have you been working on this?
They've just been sitting on needles. I've been doing other things.
And it's just plain stockinette?
Yes, on both. Mm-hmm. And then I
You know what's good for that?
I know, right? That's going to be seeing a lot of use. I'm about halfway through with this shawl that Amy asked me to make as a shop sample. This is Woolfolk Far, the Hieronymus cowl. I haven't done much with that since the last podcast because I cast on something new.
What did you cast?
I cast on a sweater.
Is it a 4-day sweater?
It is not a 4-day sweater. It is... The pattern is called Hansthom. And it's, I'm still doing my raglan increases. It's top down. There it is right there. It's actually
It's
inside
inside
out. Yep. There it is right there. And I'll mention the pattern name on the screen. I'm doing it in Tosh work sock, so I'm alternating skeins every couple of rows because, hand dyed. But right now I made a mistake and I'm backing up because where I alternate my skeins is right where I do an increase.
You're alternating skeins?
Yeah. Well, I want it to look nice, not like one of those other ones that you make. Oh, shots fired! But where I'm alternating my skeins, I'm also doing my raglan increase right there, make one right, and I forgot to do one. I counted my stitches a couple rows later. I was one off. I was like, oh, dang it. And sure enough, upon inspection is right where I do the switch over, so I'm backing up so that I fix that. Because I guess I could try to figure out how to just kind of flub it and move on, but I want to do it right. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Cool.
What are you working on right now?
Well, I've been working on the Mitchell poncho by Shibui in their Vine, and I've finished with the front. This is the back. It's a little wrinkled because it's been in this bag for a while I finish this, but I'm finished with the increases, and now it's just straight knitting for a little while, just stockinette straight knitting. That might be finished by the end of the summer. It'd be a nice thing for summer. And then I wanted to do a summer top, and there's one called My Boy Lollipop, which is a negative ease crop top, which is what I've been knitting a lot of lately. And I thought I would do it out of a cotton. And so I have some of this Barocco Summer Silk, which is a silk and cotton, like half silk, half cotton, touch of nylon. And I swatched with it, and it's not going to give me enough stretch and give for a negative ease crop top.
Yeah, you'll run into that with cotton.
Yes, so, but I did swatch. I swatched some stockinette, and I swatched some backwards loop ribbing, not backwards loop, through the back loop ribbing, twisted rib, because that's what the bottom of it was, and the twisted rib just didn't spring back, so that will not be the pattern that I use with this. There are a couple of other summer t-shirts that I think I'll do with this DK weight cotton, and I'll just pick something else for the My Boy Lollipop, because it's pretty cute, and I think I need one.
You go, girl. I'm gonna make my sweater a crop top.
I have a lot of fingering weight yarn in my stash at home. I don't have very much DK. So I might have to pick some DK.
I know where you can find some.
Where? Alright, cool. So that brings us to the giveaway portion.
That is correct. So for the giveaway, we are giving away one of these Unbeetable scarf kits.
Nice summer project. And
I don't either.
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to pause and
we're going to pause.
Forward.
Okay. 1 through 24. Generate number 15.
15. Okay, let me do it one more time. Nikwai Noble.
Congratulations.
Yay!
You are the winner of a Unbeatable scarf kit from Beet Street Yarns. If we haven't contacted you before you see this, just get in touch with us, email us, call us, and let us know if you'd like to come and pick it up in the shop, or if you would like us to mail it to you. We're happy to do that as well.
Whatever your preference.
Whatever your preference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got to wrap this up.
But we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway for this week as well. What do we want to give away?
I don't know.
What about a skein of Adorn Luxe from 3 Irish Girls in the color of 6 pine trees?
Okay.
Cool. What's our question?
I thought about it just since we are going to the National Needle Arts trade show this coming month. Maybe our question should be, what are you into? What kind of yarn that you would like to see that we don't already carry in the shop? Maybe we can see if they're at TNNA, if we can get an appointment with them and just check them out.
That's a good question. Yep.
Okay, so if you have a favorite brand that we don't already carry, let us know. Mm-hmm. Or maybe we do and you just want to shout out some love for that brand.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.